Hi, I'm Richard again from Watson Co. I'm here at one of our properties here in Birstall, just waiting for a viewing, and I just thought I'd put a video together to have a chat with first-time buyers, give them an idea of how to go about buying their first property in the market. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to put you a 7-step guide how to buy property, the right way to do it to make sure you get that correct property. Step one, when thinking about buying a property, most people think it's really important that you go out there, view some properties, see what's on the market. That is the wrong way about it. What I would say, step one, for a first-time buyer to buy a property is go speak to your local bank, or even better, a financial advisor there that's whole of the market. They'll be able to sit down with you, give you some guide of what you can afford in the current market, the mortgage repayments, what deposits you're going to need, everything. This will arm you with what is available for you to buy. Step two, finding the right property for you. What I recommend to all our first-time buyers is get a list of what they really want, or what is affordable for what they can now get on a mortgage. So look at the surrounding areas they're looking for. So say if you was looking, for example, where I am today in Birstall, you might look at Birstall, Batley, Morley, Hetman and Wyke, Liversedge. They're all within, a couple of miles of each other, but all carry a different price, but offer a range of different properties. So work out what is key to you. Do you want a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom? Would you look at terrace properties? Would you look at semi-detached properties? So get your key elements together and then start booking through from there and working off a wish list of what you're looking at buying. Step 3 on my guide to first-time buyer buying is the viewings. When you go on a viewing, go there early, have a look around the area, find out as much as you can about that property. So has it got gas central heating, double glazing? Is it anything you're going to need to modernise in that property that's going to add additional expense? If it's an apartment, what are the service charges, ground rent, stuff like that. So be aimed with all that information so that you can, as you're comparing properties in that area, you can compare like for like. So get as much information as you can on that property so you're armed, ready then to make a formal decision on whether that property is for you. Step 4, making an offer. Have a budget in mind when thinking about which property you're buying, and don't go over that, is my top tip recommendation, because you could be costly, and if there needs any repairs, new boilers, anything like that, you could be way over budget. What I'd also do is when you put that offer, have all the information and what the estate agent's going to need for you to get your offer accepted and to get it off the market quickly. So the estate agent nowadays, under money laundering acts, are going to need proof of ID. So they're going to need copies of your driving licence, passports, they're going to need proof of funds. So they're going to need that mortgage agreement in principle from you. They're going to need to see if you've got a 95% mortgage. They're going to need to see where this 5% deposit is. They're going to need to see proof of address. So have all that armed, ready to go. And then as soon as your offer is accepted, you can get that straight over to that estate agent and get that property off the market. Also think about what solicitors are you going to use. Have you had any quotes? Get some quotes there from solicitors. I mean, I would always recommend using a local conveyancer in the area, someone you can go in and see, that you can have a chat if you get any problems. Online ones, are a lot cheaper, but when you do hit problems, it's difficult explaining that over the phone, whereas with a local conveyancer, you can go into their office, sit and have a chat with someone face to face, and that can breed confidence as well in the sale. Step 5, now you've had your offer accepted, you've got to think about surveys. All mortgage lenders will do a survey on the property. There's a couple of other surveys you can look at, such as a home buyers report, which is an in-depth report that goes through the property, it goes in the loft, everything. Takes about an hour and a half for them to do, but that'll give you an in-depth report on the property if you want one of them. They're roughly about £400 to have done. You could have a full structural survey on the property, So there's a range of different surveys there, or you could just have the normal bank survey, which is just to say that they'll lend on it and they don't see any problems on it. So it's up to you what you want to do, but it's worth thinking about what type of survey you want on your property. Step 6, progression. Now, a normal house sale takes between 2 or 3 months. I know people think, you know, you bought your house, boom, you can move in tomorrow. Depending on hiccups with solicitors and everything, they've got to do all these searches there, which takes a long time. So they've got to go away, do local searches there on the property. They've got to get the mortgage offer from it. So it's a time-consuming process for the solicitor. So what I'd always say to anyone when buying a house, aim for completion within about a 3-month radius, and you won't be far out there. But it's just worth bearing that in mind, because I know a lot of people think you can buy a house and move straight in. It does take a while, and you know, on a straight house sale, depending on what's in that chain, you are looking at 3 months. It can be longer if there's a longer chain there. It can take up to 4 months, and I have seen it take up to 5, depending on when people are ready to move. So step 7. Now you've got to exchange date, so you've exchanged contracts, you've now got a completion date ready for moving. Now most people expect that if you get given a moving date of Friday, that first thing 9 o'clock you can pick your keys up and move in. That's not how it works. Basically the money has to go up the chain. So most completions take place around 11 to 12 o'clock and then go up the chain from there. So if you're buying a property for the first time, bear that in mind, that you may not have access to that property to be able to pick your keys up till midday. So, you know, plan your removals, moving in around that. You know, make sure you've got the van if you move in, or the removal company booked in with enough time there, because it can be a bit fraught on moving day. Well, that money goes up the chain and they give permission for the estate agent to release the keys to you.